Imagine being born into a legacy so powerful that your name is etched into the very fabric of American politics. Now imagine carrying the weight of that legacy through war, crisis, and global scrutiny. George Walker Bush, the 43rd President of the United States, lived that reality. From a carefree youth to the deadliest terrorist attack on American soil, from the oil fields of Texas to the Oval Office, and from controversial decisions to surprising reinventions, his journey is as layered as the nation he once led. But who is the man beyond the presidency? What kind of life does he lead today? And just how much is he worth after all these years? In this video, we explore George Walker Bush's net worth, early struggles, major milestones, scandals, luxury homes, car collection, philanthropy, and private life to reveal the full story of one of America's most enigmatic leaders. As of 2025, George Walker Bush's estimated net worth stands at approximately $50 million. While his last day in the White House was in 2009, Bush has managed to build a post-presidency fortune through a variety of channels. One of his biggest income sources is public speaking. He earns between $100,000 and $175,000 per appearance. With more than 200 appearances since leaving office, the math speaks volumes. Another major contributor is his best-selling memoir, Decision Points, which earned him an advance of $7 million and sold over 3 million copies. He continues to receive a presidential pension of $221,400 annually, along with other benefits like lifetime Secret Service protection. Let's not forget his stake in the Texas Rangers baseball team in the 90s, which turned a modest $600,000 investment into a $15 million payout. Combined, these streams have kept Bush financially secure and comfortable in his post-presidency years. George Walker Bush was born on July 6, 1946, in New Haven, Connecticut. The son of George Herbert Bush, who would become the 41st president, and Barbara Bush, George Walker was the eldest of 6 children. Though born into privilege, he spent his formative years in the modest town of Midland, Texas, where the Bush family moved to make their mark in the oil business. He wasn't the brightest student, often described as average in school. Yet, what Bush lacked in academic excellence, he made up for with charisma, social intuition, and a knack for connecting with people. He attended Phillips Academy in Massachusetts and later graduated from Yale in 1968. Not stopping there, he earned an MBA from Harvard Business School, the only U.S. president to ever do so. Despite the Ivy League education, Bush's early adult life was anything but polished. He struggled with alcohol and a lack of direction, eventually finding purpose in faith and family. Bush's career in business began with a shaky start in the Texas oil industry, launching several companies that ultimately failed to make a lasting impact. However, he struck gold, literally and figuratively, when he became part owner of the Texas Rangers baseball team. His visibility skyrocketed, and in 1994, he capitalized on that momentum to run for governor of Texas. Against all odds, he defeated popular Democrat Ann Richards. His tenure focused on education reform and tax cuts, and earned him re-election in 1998 with a record-breaking margin. In 2000, Bush entered the presidential race. Though he lost the popular vote, a contentious Supreme Court decision handed him the Electoral College win. His presidency began with a shaky economy, but it was the events of September 11, 2001, that would define his leadership. Bush led America into wars in Afghanistan and Iraq and launched the controversial Patriot Act. Re-elected in 2004, his second term saw mounting criticism over Hurricane Katrina, economic policy, and the 2008 financial crisis. The Bush presidency was not without scandals and controversies. The 2000 election itself remains one of the most disputed in American history. The Iraq War, launched under the claim that Saddam Hussein possessed weapons of mass destruction, turned into a prolonged and costly conflict. Domestically, his administration faced backlash for its handling of Hurricane Katrina, with many accusing the federal response of being too slow. His approval ratings plummeted during the 2008 financial collapse, contributing to a general fatigue with Republican leadership and paving the way for Barack Obama's historic election. Yet, after leaving office, Bush largely stayed out of the political fray, choosing instead to rebuild his image through art, writing, and humanitarian efforts. In a surprising twist, many Americans have come to view him more favorably in hindsight. One of Bush's most cherished residences is the Prairie Chapel Ranch in Crawford, Texas, a 1,600-acre property, often referred to as the Western White House. Purchased in 1999, the ranch includes a 4,000-square-foot home designed for sustainability, with features like geothermal heating, rainwater harvesting, and native landscaping. The home is modest by presidential standards, with an open-plan living space, wide porches, and simple furnishings. The ranch offers Bush solitude, where he enjoys biking, clearing brush, and painting. In Dallas, Texas, Bush also owns a spacious home in the upscale neighborhood of Preston Hollow. This residence serves as his primary base for public engagements and houses his presidential library. The house is elegant but understated, reflecting his personal style and Texas roots. Unlike many modern political figures, Bush isn't known for a flashy car collection. Instead, his vehicles reflect practicality and personal taste. He's often seen driving a Ford F-150 King Ranch Edition, a robust truck that suits the rugged terrain of his Crawford Ranch. Equipped with a V8 engine and luxurious leather interiors, the vehicle offers both power and comfort. He has also been spotted in a Chevrolet Silverado, another dependable truck, often associated with the American working class. One of his more unique choices isn't a car at all, but a mountain bike. Bush is a passionate cyclist and has hosted annual 100-kilometer rides with wounded veterans at his ranch. These events highlight his commitment to both fitness and veteran causes. His preference for function over flair extends into his transportation choices. No Ferraris, no Lamborghinis, just classic American muscle and utility. Post-presidency, Bush has devoted significant time and resources to philanthropic efforts. The George Walker Bush Presidential Center, located on the campus of Southern Methodist University in Dallas, serves as the hub for many of these activities. The Bush Institute focuses on global health, human freedom, economic growth, and education reform. One of its most notable initiatives is the Military Service Initiative, which helps veterans transition to civilian life through leadership training and job placement. Bush also launched the Pink Ribbon, Red Ribbon campaign to fight cervical and breast cancer in developing nations. He has participated in numerous fundraising events and charity auctions, often contributing his own artwork to raise money. During the COVID-19 pandemic, Bush released a heartfelt video calling for unity and empathy, a moment that resonated deeply in a divided nation. George Walker Bush married Laura Welch in 1977, a former librarian and schoolteacher who would become one of America's most beloved first ladies. Together, they have twin daughters, Barbara and Jenna. Born in 1981, Jenna Bush Hager is now a best-selling author and co-host of NBC's Today Show, while Barbara is an advocate for public health and co-founder of the Global Health Corps. Bush's personal life has been marked by a deep religious faith. After years of alcohol abuse, he became a born-again Christian in 1985, a turning point he credits with saving his marriage and giving him new purpose. Outside of his public duties, Bush is an avid painter. His subjects range from world leaders to wounded warriors, and his art has been compiled into several books. He also enjoys golfing, hiking, and spending time with his grandchildren. His life today is one of introspection, far removed from the high-stakes world of politics. As we close the chapter on George Walker Bush's extraordinary journey, we see a life full of contradictions, challenges, and transformations. He was once one of the most controversial figures in modern history, yet today, he is also one of the most humanized. From Yale to the White House, From war rooms to art studios, Bush's legacy is still unfolding. If this deep dive into the life, wealth, and humanity of George Walker Bush fascinated you, be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and tap the notification bell so you won't miss our next presidential profile. Because behind every title, there's a story, and behind every president, there's a person.